Hello, everyone. So, I don't know how long this is going to be. Um, might be fast, but. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about basically what I'm doing everything for. What my goal is to end up buying some land, which I'm hoping to do hopefully within the next 2 to 4 years. And I kind of want to recreate the Atlantean design. Like, I want one ring to be. In the beginning, I want to use solar ponds. Like one ring has a solar pond, one ring that has fish, and well, uh, decide what the last one might be for. I don't know yet. Drinking water, that would be a good one. Um, but I do want to begin with solar ponds, but then I want to. I think I might understand how the pyramids create ether energy. And there's one of two ways that I've researched so far, and it's either that it's made or that it is like brought from the air somehow, like sucked up through the air. It's one of those two ways. But then, of course, I want to farm and kind of utilize the land. I want to create it as a sustainable city, and it's kind of coming to like theories of mine that I'm not quite so sure if like big cities are the best idea, because it seems like that's where a lot of negative energy is focused. Maybe we aren't meant to live um, so close together and a small with so many people in a small area. Um, maybe maybe we should spread out a little bit more, develop more communities in a way. Um, this kind of goes with my whole thing with also eliminating money. Like, what would I start in place? But there still would be like technology. I'm not trying to. That's why I would create a different form of energy. Um, and it has nothing to do with going green or anything like that. I just don't think the way how we're living is healthy. Um, it doesn't nourish our soul. It nourishes greed and material possessions and everything like that. And so, um, and of course, like when I get it finalized and built, I mean, this place just isn't for me that I want to create. I mean, it's for other people too. Um, but that will all come once I get step one accomplished, getting the land and then building that. So that's my ultimate goal. Um, and because I also think that, I mean, even the cities that we do have today, I think it's a real big waste of money, which money in a lot of ways is energy that has um, so I mean I just don't find I just don't think the way we're doing things is right. So I'm gonna do a different path, no matter which direction this future goes. And I'm not very much pro money because I think I haven't seen money really do too much good. It seems to do more negative than good because people are after it. Same thing with minerals. Um, it's all it's all a fake game. It's all an illusion. None of it really matters unless you work on yourself, and most people don't do that because they don't have time to do that, because they're more concerned about making sure that they have a roof over their head. They're so distracted from living that life. Go to work, go home, go to work, go home, eat. You think that's the only way that you can live and survive. And, life is really about advancing yourself, as in your mind, your awareness, connecting with the source, the all. Um, and all this is just a distraction to keep you from what you should actually be doing, and that is freeing yourself from this prison. So, anyway, maybe I talked about that too long, and rambled, but now back about the situation in my novel. So I did put some things on Twitter out the other day about that, and it's in my pinned tweet if anybody's wondering exactly what it is. But so there's one of two paths that we can go down. Both of them seem to lead to good things. The first path is that who comes back to office, but not through a court decision or anything like that. No, so there are certain states that will decertify the vote and knock it under the 270 total. Now, if that happens, then it goes to the House. And this is where things get a little weird. And I remember saying this to myself because I remember, the earlier fight with the VP, and I was like, well, who's his vice president? The person never mentioned anything about the vice president. And that's kind of starting to become clear, because if that happens, then Joe, if he goes under 270, then technically he's not president anymore, which would make Kamala Harris not vice president, which would mean that there would be no tiebreaker in the Senate. Think about that. 50-50. So, I don't know what would happen in that situation. I don't know if he would be able to get to pick his own, but Trump would win the Senate because it's one state, one vote, and who controls most of the states are Republican, and the Senate and the House. When it comes down to it, it doesn't matter how many representatives there are from a state. The state is either a Democrat or Republican. I guess through majority is what I'm thinking. But so the 12th might get kicked in there, and I believe that's the route. It could be Mike Lindell's route, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe things that are said in there might lead to that situation, but I'd like to say I'm probably 95% sure that I believe it does end up in the House. So if that happens, then things will start getting better. As you've noticed, inflation's kicking in, and a few other things are kicking in. Higher gas prices, higher food prices, and some of the food prices we aren't going to see for quite some time. At least maybe 6 months on some items to go up. So, that would make things better. Now, I see sanctions and not war at this moment. There is going to be something that does happen that is going to lead us to war. And that something may have already happened and people just haven't really seen it, that it has happened. But that person, the great uniter, is going to take us to war. So whoever the president, whoever we elect in 2024 will go to war. I don't see any way around it right now. But so that's the what's up and coming, I would say. Another thing I want people to watch out for is earthquakes. Oh my god, I did do a video on this, and I gotta find it and repost it, but I know, yeah, I did a video on earthquakes, and at this time, something's gonna happen between 2020 and 2022 was what I was talking about in the video. And natural disasters are gonna occur up until 2024, but I think this is the most severe period, if I'm remembering it correctly. And that period, but you know, there have been, they did turn off like earthquake tremors in certain areas and things of that nature, and we know that there's 2 plates that are moving. So and volcanoes are erupting. So, and there's been a lot of earthquakes. Oh man. But be careful. Keep an eye on the earthquake situation. Because something might happen sometime around that. And there's still a possibility of the power going off, especially if it is an earthquake. A really, really devastating one could do something like that to where it does shut off the power. I mean, there is, just know that if the power does go off, and it is more than a week, that it should be back on by the 30th day. Hopefully. You know, that would be my guess. It comes back on. And that's an if scenario. But other than that, I just wanted to make this video to update. I'm still working on my dissertation. My novel is done. And I should be querying it out here soon, hopefully. But I'm going to let you guys go. I need to go. And have a good one. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And peace out.